And welcome back to Marist University and Gartland Field, the site of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship. It's Game 7. It feels like a Game 7. It's the top-seeded Marist Red Foxes against the third-seeded Iona Gales, winner to the MAAC Championship round. I'm Mike Ferraro along with Caroline Barada. Let's take a look at how we got to this point. Iona started the championship with a win against Siena that was finished yesterday morning, and then an impressive victory against Fairfield yesterday, and Marist impressive against Sacred Heart as well. The winner of this one just needs one more to be MAAC champions, but whoever loses will have a chance to get back in it in the elimination bracket later today.
You know, Mike, the Iona-Marist matchup, this is going to be a great one today. I really think so. I think it could go one of two ways. It's either going to be an extremely low-scoring game or it's going to be an extremely high-scoring game.
Well, we've trended toward the high-scoring ones as the Marist lineup being introduced. The Red Foxes wearing the gray uniforms for this one. Iona wearing maroon. Marist putting up 8 runs yesterday against Sacred Heart. The Red Foxes fell behind by a count of 3-1 after an inning and a half, but it was a 5-run third that propelled Marist to victory. This Marist team comes in hot, 15 consecutive wins. And Marist and Iona, they met in the regular season, and it was a really interesting series in New Rochelle. The Gales are a tough team. They were tough to hit. And they had a tough time hitting against Stella Blanchard, who gets the call for the Red Foxes in this one. Blanchard, 12 wins on the season. She had a complete game 2-1 victory at Iona on Good Friday. So she gets the call for Joe Wasanio today. Marist has a 3-headed option in terms of their pitchers that they've been using for the most part in conference play with Blanchard, Anna Sidlowski, and Ava Metzger. Blanchard, the only one of the 3 who didn't pitch yesterday. This Iona lineup, it's been the same throughout the championship. If you're head coach Andy Russo, you have to go with what's working. It's Rachel Morales, the freshman sensation at the top. Olivia Lichner, hitting number 2 as a senior year. What a breakout year, and experience up and down this lineup, especially with Fisher, Guerrero, Worth, and Acker as seniors. A senior-laden team, they think it's their time. The Red Foxes are looking to defend their championship.
Yeah, you know, Mike, Coach Andy Russo, I would go with what's working as well. They've been hitting this entire tournament, so they just got to keep it going today against Blanchard.
You take a look at the Gales, there's a lot of strengths with this team, right? They have pitching depth. They have an excellent number 1 in Melissa Gordon, who will get the call for them in the circle. There's experience up and down this lineup. They have pop. They have speed.
And you know what? I'm really impressed with their defense, all around the infield and in the outfield.
They catch the ball as well as anybody in this conference as well. The athleticism shows more than just at the plate. Rachel Morales will dig in to start this off. So, legend goes that Rachel Morales once attended a camp at Marist. She came here as a slap hitter. Got asked one time, hey, just take a swing, let's see what happens. She hit the ball over the scoreboard. She's no longer a slap hitter. The pop is real as well, and she has been on a tear in the RBI department. This Iona dugout is loud already. You see them behind Morales. Here's Blanchard's 0-1 upstairs.
Yeah, Blanchard's going to go a lot to that rise ball. That's her go-to pitch, along with a devastating changeup, too.
We talked about yesterday, Caroline, how Blanchard and Ava Metzger are more like each other stylistically than either is like Anna Sidlowski, as that one misses off the corner. Ava Metzger yesterday generated 12 fly ball outs and just 1 ground ball out. Now, that's extreme even for her, but Blanchard, again, will tilt more toward the outfielders will get some work, and Marist made a defensive change in this one. The 2-1 is skied left side now to play. McKenna Manley, who you may see in the picture in left field, she draws into the lineup today for Joe Wasanio. Annabelle Geiser moves over to first base. That's the lineup Marist ended the game with defensively yesterday. Manley has had some big hits against the Gales this year. Blanchard's 2-2. That is hit high and deep to right field. There it goes. Rachel Morales, a leadoff homer. Well, we mentioned she likes hitting at this park.
She sure does. I mean, that was a bomb. I will admit, that was a bomb. She got all of that. I think Blanchard left it a little too high up in the zone. You know, that was actually a pretty low pitch. She went down and got it.
Either way, Morales finished the regular season on a tear. Last game of the season, 3 for 3, 5 RBIs against Manhattan, 7 RBIs in the 3 game against the Jaspers. And now it's Olivia Lichner, who's had a spectacular senior year, and she is hit with Blanchard's first offering. Lichner stopped for a second, but indeed she is allowed to go to first base. Stella Blanchard on Good Friday at Iona was the winner in a 2-1 contest. The Red Foxes had only 2 hits in that game, but it was enough as Blanchard was phenomenal in that one. But Morales equals the amount of runs that the Gales scored on that day 5 weeks ago. Strike 1 to Sarah Pena. Pena is the MAAC Defensive Player of the Year, the Iona third baseman. And her and Addie Smith hitting in the 3-4 hole, couple of sophomores for Iona who have worked their way up the lineup. Pena skies that one right side. Sam Rogers, foul territory, 1 away.
And you know what, Mike, I think that out right there is what Blanchard needs to just settle in. You know, this really is her first MAAC tournament game.
Well, let's get into Stella Blanchard's story. It's a perfect time to do it, right? Stella Blanchard has dealt with a UCL injury. This is her 3rd year at Marist. However, coming into this year, she had pitched a grand total of 1 inning. Not at all as a freshman, as Addie Smith, the hitter, and that one deflected off her bat. Then last year, pitched 1 inning in a game at St. Peter's, and that was the sum total of her collegiate production before this season. So Joe Asanio has had to mix and match his staff all season long. Blanchard's 0-1 is skied foul, so she's ahead in the count. So you're dealing with Blanchard working her way back from a significant injury. Ava Metzger has been terrific for Marist this year, but she's had 2 major injuries in her career. So Joe Asanio not wanting to put too much on any one pitcher. That's been a theme of his throughout the season. It's gotten him to this point, which is the #1 seed in this championship.
Yeah, I think he's given a great amount of innings. He spread it out the way he really wanted to this year, and it's shown how effective it's been.
Blanchard's 1-2. Skied, right side. Rogers again, right in her tracks, 2 away. The Marist pitching staff, especially in conference play, has largely revolved around the efforts of Metzger, Blanchard, and Anna Sidlowski. We may see Sidlowski before this one is done today. And Sidlowski, we mentioned that she has won her last 9 decisions. Her season really took a turn for the better in that series in New Rochelle. This is first pitch swinging by Bree Fisher, and Sam Rogers has tied a record that will never be broken, 3 putouts in 1 inning. But the Gales strike first as Rachel Morales goes deep to open this one, and after a half inning, Gales won. Red Foxes coming to bat. You are looking at Melissa Gordon, who is having a sensational freshman season for Iona. 15 wins, the MAAC leader in ERA, second team All-MAAC, MAAC All-Rookie team. And this moment will not be too big for Melissa Gordon. She shined in her high school career at St. Anthony's High School in Long Island, where she won 4 state championships. St. Anthony's High School, a tremendous school, athletically, academically, prepares you for the next level. They have some great products that come out of there. My wife is one of them. As Peyton Pusey will lead it off against Melissa Gordon in the bottom of the first. So Joe Wasanio does not switch anything in the top 6. However, the changes come at the bottom, where Sidlowski goes up to 7, McCandla Manley draws at the 8 spot, Annabelle Geyser switches positions from left field to first base. So Melissa Gordon went the distance in Game 1 in the series against Marist in April, as Iona won that one 8-3, and then she pitched in relief and actually took the loss in Game 3, which was just a crazy one. Peyton Pusey has a 2-0 count against her, and Peyton Pusey has hit Gordon as well as anyone in the Marist lineup, 3 for 5 against her in that series at Iona. 2-0. That's ripped into right field, and it gets down. Pusey's thinking too. She turns on the Jets. She's going to go in standing. Stand-up double, Peyton Pusey to lead off the bottom of the first.
And Mike, just like you said, she sees Gordon very well, and she showcases it right there with a leadoff double.
Well, Caroline, we were talking off air. How are the Red Foxes going to respond? Well, Iona's leadoff hitter does some damage, and Pusey answers right there. She thought about sliding, then she pulled up, and the customary let's go back to the dugout. She plays with ferocious intensity. Now her classmate, Bella Mannery, takes upstairs. Bella Mannery also had a couple of hits against Melissa Gordon when these teams played. And Mannery can give you a couple of different looks out of the 2-hole. A bunt's a possibility. She can work a count. She can drive the ball as well. That's a line drive into left center field. It gets down. It goes off Worth's glove. In comes Pusey. Mannery's into second. We're tied at 1.
There's Bella with just a swing, driving it right back up the middle and getting herself to second base. Back-to-back double for the Foxes.
Let's take a look. It's Hannah Worth, who's a great defensive center fielder, going over there. Joe Lasania waving her in all the way. But with the ball hit in the gap, just got the ruling from our official scorer, Jesse Kazakov. Bella Mannery will get a double on that play. Thought it was hit too far in the gap, that even if Worth cut it off cleanly, left-handed thrower going to have to turn, spin. And now it's Haley R., who was magnificent yesterday. Takes the first one upstairs. Haley R. added to the record collection yesterday. She's now Marist's all-time leader in RBIs. That joins doubles. She hit her 60th yesterday. Hits and batting average. Gordon changes speeds and evens the count.
That's a tough changeup right there.
You took the words out of my mouth. You have to watch the changeup with Gordon. She will throw it at any time. You have to be ready. That's how she keeps you off balance. The 1-1 is low and in. Haley R. in the series at Iona hit into some tough luck. Downstairs, 3-1, but she had the game-winning single in the top of the 7th in Game 3, which gave Marist a 3-2 victory. The Red Foxes in that game were no-hit through the first 5 innings and shut out through the first 6, but they got it done in the 7th. 3-1 coming, and a changeup. 3-1 changeup, and Gordon drops it in.
That changeup's very off-speed compared to her hard stuff. She can throw it for a strike. It's almost a little loopy, too. You really have to wait back on that.
And you wonder why the ERA is where it is. Anytime, any count. That's a ground ball to short, fielded by Fisher, fires across, 1 away, and with it being about a couple of feet away from Bella Mannery, she has to hold it second.
That's a great pitch by Gordon right there. I'm not sure if that was in the zone per se for a strikeout pitch, but it makes Haley R. chase and gets her to ground out to short.
So Gordon, who generates a decent amount of ground balls, gets one there. You see the Marist scuba gear. Last year was the Wigs, this year the scuba gear. Sienna Kunze, the hitter. Sienna Kunze's from Arizona, where there's a lot of desert and not a ton of water. But Kunze has made it rain with 12 home runs this year, 11 of them in MAAC play, more than anybody in conference play. 1-0 count to the Red Foxes' number 4 hitter. Grounded. Fisher stops. She gets up, and now they have Mannery in a rundown. The throw to third, Pena makes the tag, and the Gales execute the rundown well enough that Kunze has to hold it first.
Yeah, that's a great play by Fisher right there. She backhands that ball in the 5-6 hole, and she sees Mannery get off the base a little too far and gets her in a rundown, and that's just a great play by Iona right there.
So first of all, great shortstop play by Fisher, right? And with Mannery as the runner, at first thought that ball was going to get through, but Fisher cut it off. Fisher was looking at third at first. Mannery stopped in her tracks, and then there came the rundown.
Yeah, I think Mannery just took a little too far off second base right there.
So now it's Livia Wiltsey, who's been terrific as a freshman. 1-0 is popped up in the infield. Guerrero there, and that'll do it for the Red Foxes in the first. But not before Marist ties the game with the top 2 in the order. The seniors get it done. Pusey, the leadoff double. Mannery, the RBI double. It's 1-1 going to the second. To the top of the second we go at Gartland Field. Mike Ferraro along with Caroline Barado. William Rosen will be joining us from the sideline. Contributing a couple of times today is this weather has taken a turn and not for the better, Caroline. If you were with us for game 1 today, first of all, thanks for sticking with us. But you don't see any sunlight. The wind is picked up. Iona head coach Andy Russo has now donned a hoodie going down to coach third base, and we understand there is some rain in the area. Maybe not threatening rain, but maybe enough to cause a little bit of a disturbance in the proceedings. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Iona. It's Haley Guerrero leading off, and the count is 1-0 to her. Line drive, left side, but out of play.
Yeah, Mike, Iona's made some good contact against Blanchard so far. She has velocity on her pitches, so the ball really does come off their bats pretty hard.
Haley Guerrero also has really enjoyed hitting at Gartland Field, particularly in this championship. She has a home run already in this, and that came in the game against Siena. Check swing, does not go. The first home run Haley Guerrero hit at Gartland Field. Caroline, I don't want to bring this up as a bad memory to you, but Iona played in a series at Marist in 2024. The second game of that series went on forever, without any runs being scored, mind you. And Guerrero hit one out in the top of the 10th to give Iona a 1-0 victory. She checks up on that one and does not go.
I believe they called that a foul ball.
If the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blanchard looks in for the sign. 2-2. Line drive off the glove of Wiltsey, and she won't have a play. Livia Wiltsey had to climb the ladder. I think Guerrero hit that one pretty hard. And for the second straight inning, Iona has the leadoff hitter on board. That will be an infield single. We'll get another look. Yeah, Wiltsey had to get up off the ground.
Yeah, she almost had it.
Now it's Brooke Acker. Big swing, no contact. As again, Blanchard working up in the zone. If you're going to work up in the zone, you have to get it past somebody, and she just did.
Yeah, that's the rise ball I was talking about before, Mike. It starts almost at your letters, and it just ends above your head.
0-1. Went upstairs again. That time Acker didn't offer. Brooke Acker, 4-year starter for Iona. She's been solid at the catcher position. This is her 173rd career start. That one is skied. Right center field, Pusey goes over, and she puts it away for out number 1 in the second inning. That's the first out for Marist recorded in this game that didn't land in Sam Rogers' glove. So now it's Giovanna Donnarumma hitting out of the number 8 spot in the lineup, the designated player. And here's where you have to be careful with the 8-9 hitters in the Iona lineup. They will not give you anything. Donnarumma and Hannah Worth have excellent batting eyes.
Yeah, you know, the bottom of the order of Iona's lineup really reminds me of the bottom of the order of Marist's lineup, of Worth being a very good 9-hole hitter and turning that lineup over to Morales.
Donnarumma this year, 255 hitter. She has 55 at-bats this year, but she's drawn 12 walks, on-base percentage of 400, and count now even at a ball and a strike. And Donnarumma drew 3 walks in Iona's win against Fairfield yesterday. A lot of ones on that scoreboard. 2-1 now. 1-1 game, top of the second. Rachel Morales with a leadoff homer for Iona. But then Marist answers with the top of its order. Back-to-back doubles by Pusey and Mannery. 2-1 to Donnarumma. That's in the air. Right side, Wiltsey out, Rogers in, and drops in front of Rogers, but she throws to second for the out. That's the second time we've seen that in 2 days, Caroline, that it looked like Rogers deked the runner. The ball fell in, and then Rogers throws to second. So scored that one 9-6. The 12th outfield assist for Sam Rogers this year, and you see the deke she keeps in front of her. Sam Rogers has been busy in right field, and you know that Sam, a former infielder, former shortstop, has an excellent arm out there, and she's put it to use frequently.
Yeah, that's a great play by Rogers, deking the runner, having her go back to first, thinking she's going to catch it, and getting the out at second. And that's something Coach Asanio works on at practice all the time.
I'll tell you, Sam deked me out yesterday. Not that that's hard, okay? But thought that she lost in the sun, then realized the sun was actually behind her. That ended up in the notebook of things I didn't do right yesterday. As the count is 1-1 to number 11 for Iona, Hannah Worth. Speedy center fielder from Virginia. Connection between Iona and Marist. She's friends with a Virginia product who played for the Red Foxes and graduated last year, Ronnie Howard. They would often joke about hitting the ball to each other. And Mannery with the snap throw to first, and it gets away into right field. Then Donnarumma gets into scoring position with 2 outs. Mannery thought that she had a play there, but instead, it's Donnarumma who gets up to second.
Yeah, Mike, I'm not sure if when Mannery threw that, if it hit Worth's bat or helmet or something. It looked like it ricocheted pretty weirdly.
Yeah, we'll get a look at it.
I think it hit her bat.
Ooh. At the very least, it was a tough angle to throw around her, but now Worth fouls that off, so the Red Foxes 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Number 22, Blanchard, with a 2-2 count in the top of the second. Trying to cut the lineup right here before it turns back over to the top. Upstairs, count is full. So Hannah Worth this season comes into today hitting 188. She's had better numbers in her career, but the batting eye is still there. She's drawn 26 walks. So the on-base percentage, 363. It's almost 200 points higher than her batting average. Payoff pitch. Pops it up, and that's behind us. And not ricocheting back toward us either, thankfully.
Yeah, Worth does a good job of spoiling that pitch in a 3-2 count, giving her another opportunity to drive the runner in.
Blanchard has recorded 4 outs through the air and the 9-6 putout. Payoff pitch. Left side. 3 Red Foxes give chase. None can get there in time. So Hannah Worth putting together a good at-bat here out of the 9-hole. Blanchard has been pretty efficient into this at-bat. Just 25 pitches through Iona's first 8 hitters, but Worth making her work here. Iona dugout with the chant of base hit ball 4.
And once again, she spoils that ball. That looked like a curve ball. It came in on her hands. Spoils it over to the right side.
And you just see that Iona, as a team, there's just not many holes anywhere in the lineup, in any aspect of the game, anything really. They're just so solid everywhere, and lately spectacular. Payoff pitch again. Let's do it again. Nine pitches in this at bat. Iona dug out into it. Payoff pitch, the sequel. What an at bat by Hannah Worth.
That was a great layoff by her. That pitch was very close to being a strike on the outside corner for her, but she lays off it and gets back to the top of her lineup.
So they turn it over to Morales, who homered in the top of the first. It's never too early for there to be a big spot in a game, and you may have one right here. 1-1 top of the second, first and second for Iona with 2 outs for Morales. Blanchard trying to work the corner and misses. Our umpiring crew, Brian Sonak, is calling balls and strikes. Michael Binder at first, Brandon Hibbler at second, Wade Ireland is at third.
Looks like it just started to rain a little bit too, Mike.
And Morales fouls that one away. It is not expected, keyword there being expected, that this rain is going to cause a pause in the proceedings today. But not exactly pleasant to play through. Here comes Blanchard's 1-1. Fouled away. So, with this rain, I think the best expectation is on and off throughout the course of it, but hopefully never getting too hard. And good shot of the river and the action going on there. Blanchard's 1-2. Tipped into the glove of Mannery for strike 3. That's Blanchard's first strikeout of the game, and it came in a big spot. After 1.5, we are tied at 1 from Gartland Field. The sounds of Gartland Field, the freight train rolling in the background. Brick House by the Commodores playing, which means that Sam Rogers will be leading off the bottom of the second. Sam Rogers, 40 RBIs this season, coming off a sophomore year last year, in which she was second-team All-MAAC and made the MAAC All-Championship team. First pitch swinging, line drive into left field, and it gets down. Witcher had come up, and then it got behind her. Rogers digging for 2, and she's in there. That ball was stung, and it looked like it was hit right at Lichner. And that is going to be scored a double, as Lichner had to come in, and then it got past her. It didn't hit off the glove at any point. So for the second straight inning, the Red Foxes have a leadoff double, and now it's Anna Sidlowski who's really swinging a hot bat, and she takes ball 1.
Yeah, Sidlowski's swinging one of the hottest bats in the Marist lineup right now. Got moved to the 7-hole today and can possibly drive Rogers in. She's
11 for 22 this season with 2 home runs, her second coming in a big spot in the 3rd inning yesterday. That one's off the corner, 2-0 count. So the Red Foxes have done some cycling through the bottom of the lineup, a lot with their freshmen. McKenna Manley is on deck. Lily Ramelis, Maya Salvo have seen playing time as well. But Joe Asanio will ride the hot hand, and right now that is clearly Sidlowski at the DP spot, and she takes a strike from Gordon to make it 2-1. Sidlowski's home run in the game yesterday, it was a 3-1 game at that point when she led off the bottom of the 3rd. 2-1, she shows bunt and pops up over the Iona dugout. So Sidlowski trying to catch the Gales off guard there. Two-two pitch. Gordon goes with the change and Sidlowski fouls it off.
Sidlowski does a great job of spoiling that changeup. Like I said, that changeup's tough. It's one of the better changeups in the conference that I've seen this year.
And you've seen the counts in which Gordon has thrown it too. She threw one 3-1 to Haley Yar.
Yeah, she has confidence in throwing that ball. She really does. And a 2-2 count right there to one of the hottest hitters right now, she's got confidence.
McKenna Manley awaits on deck, and what a story it's been for her this year against this Iona team is that one was down and in, and Sidlowski wastes another one. Anna Sidlowski, 2-way player for the Red Foxes, the 2024 MAAC Rookie of the Year. She's seen more time in the circle than in the field, but lately coming down the stretch in the DP spot. The 2-2 to number 2. Grounded left side, Fisher fields. Crow hop, fire, 1 away. And again, with it being right by the bag, Rogers stranded at second.
And again, Gordon throws that changeup in a 2-2 count to get Sidlowski to ground out.
So now you work your way toward the freshman from Ohio, who play on the same travel team part of the lineup, in McKenna Manley, followed by Annabelle Geiser. Manley came off the bench as a defensive replacement in the 7th inning yesterday. First pitch swinging, that's into right center field for a base hit. It's cut off there by Morales. Here comes Rogers, there's no throw. Marist leads 2-1.
The freshman McKenna Manley comes up big, not having had an at-bat yesterday in the game. Swings at the first pitch and lines it to right field.
McKenna Manley came off the bench in Game 3 of the series against Iona with 2 hits in the last 2 innings. The Red Foxes were being no hit in the 3rd game. She got the first one, then got another one in the 7th. With Geiser up, 5 infielder look for Iona. She thinks about a bunt and brings it back. So again, both Joe Asanio and Andy Russo use this alignment. It's different for Iona because what they do is you see number 9 in the screen there. That is Lichner playing right by second base. Fisher plays in the hole. Guerrero stays at second base. Smith at first, Pena at 3rd. But what they do in the outfield is Worth, the center fielder, she goes all the way over to left. And the right fielder, Morales, well, she's in dead center right now. Right field completely open. 1-1 to Geiser. And that's off the corner. That's grounded, and it gets past Pena. It's a fair ball. Manley digging for 3rd. She dives in safely. And Geiser gets up to 2nd. That's going to be a double for Annabelle Geiser. What a first MAAC championship for the freshman. And it's tough, too, because when the 3rd baseman plays that far up, the scoring guidelines in NCAA softball is It's really tough to give a third baseman an error playing that far up. Now it's back to the top of the lineup and Pusey, one away, second and third. Big spot here in this game. Pusey doubled and scored. She's now 4 for 6 against Gordon. 1-0. Grounded to second. Guerrero bobbled it, then throws to first for the out. She was thinking about home. She didn't have a play by the time she recovered it. She did have time to get Pusey at first, but it's an RBI for Pusey as Manley comes in and Marist leads 3-1.
Yeah, Pusey stings that ball right to the second baseman. She stays in front of it, gets an out, much needed out.
So it's traded out for one. You see Guerrero, and that's a short hop. She did a great job just to stay with that play and get the out. So now it's Mannery with Geiser at third. Ground ball, that's wide of third. The Red Foxes, 6 hits in an inning and 2/3 against one of the best pitchers the MAAC has to offer. We'll see if Gordon can slam the door here with the score 3-1. 0-1 to Mannery. Misses upstairs. Mannery reaches Haley R on deck as once again, Joe Assanio for the last week and a half, it's been senior, top of the order with Pusey, Mannery, and R. Grounder foul. Talked to Joe Assanio earlier this year about what do you want out of the number 2 spot in the lineup. Last year, Maya McDonald hit there. So the answer was you could get basically anything that you want. But this year, again, a lot more mixing and matching with this team. That's where Joe Assanio, the MAAC Coach of the Year for the 3rd straight year and 6th time in his career, has done such a masterful job. It works its way to Mannery, who can do a lot in this spot. 1-2. Grounded off the glove of Gordon. In comes Fisher. She does not have a play, and it's an RBI infield single for Bella Mannery. It's 4-1 Marist.
Yeah, Mannery waits on that and gets it right back up the middle. Let's look at it again. I think she got Gordon's glove there. I think she's okay, but...
And Andy Russo is coming out with the lineup card. Again, you have to run these games with urgency. Gordon has been so magnificent this season, but it looks as if Andy Russo is going to the bullpen, and he has a couple of options there. And the first call goes to Allison Hoppy. Bella Mannery joking with Julianne Bolton, new addition to the Marist staff, who's done a great job. She also works with the pitcher. She played her last 4 years at UMass. Mannery 2 for 2 in this game, and in May, she's delivered some big moments this game. In this championship, she's doing again. You see Alyssa Grupp, former Red Fox, an All-MAAC selection, a terrific infielder for Marist, now going over the scouting report with a couple of Marist hitters coming up. Allison Hoppy, last year, when Iona played at Marist, she pitched in all 3 of those games, and the Red Foxes had some success against her. However, this season at Iona, Hoppy did a magnificent job. She matched up against Stella Blanchard in the second game of the series, and although Marist won that game 2-1, Hoppy gave up just 2 hits and none after the 3rd inning. The ironic part of that series is that Marist did not get a hit after the 3rd inning of the 2nd game, and they did not get a hit in the 3rd game until the 6th inning. They went 9 2/3 innings without getting a hit, and they won both of those games.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild stat.
And that was after Iona won game 1 decisively. They scored 7 in the bottom of the 2nd of the 1st game to roll to an 8-3 victory. But that started a string for the Red Foxes of winning a lot of close games. As it turned out, they would win 4 straight games by 1 run. The last 2 of that series, and then as we talked about ad nauseum yesterday, that doubleheader against Sacred Heart, and that really got this season rolling for the Red Foxes. Since that loss to Iona, they've just lost 1 since. Ground ball to Pena, and Hoppy with just 1 pitch gets out of the bottom of the 2nd. But not before the Red Foxes strike for 3, and Marist takes a 4-1 lead to the 3rd.
Marist 4, Iona 1. MAAC fans, visit
All smiles in the Marist outfield. In a major surprise, Sam Rogers is having a good time playing softball. Sarcasm dripping. Sam Rogers' last inning. She got it going for the Red Foxes as Marist scores 3 in the bottom of the second. And an interesting inning. Now, Iona did not commit an error in that inning, but so many just near misses. Hard-hit balls that got past fielders just off the glove with plays not being able to be made. But the Red Foxes have been squaring it up. 7 hits through 2 innings, and now they've handed a 3-run lead to Stella Blanchard. But difficult part of the lineup coming up. Well, this whole Iona lineup is difficult parts of it.
Yeah, there's no rest in this Iona lineup. Although the game is 4-1, it is not nearly over.
Are you trying to tell me, Caroline Barada, that in a MAAC championship, where, and I'm trying to do math in my head, we'll see how that goes, where I believe there's been 70 runs scored so far, more than the 60 scored in the entire championship last year, that a team with a lead might not be able to hold it? Stella Blanchard trying to change the narrative on that one, though, as the count is 1-1 to Olivia Lichner, who has had a super senior season for the Gales. And she hit a grand slam in yesterday's game. And Olivia Lichner, also a leader on this Iona campus as well. She's the president of Iona's Student Athlete Advisory Committee. She was the secretary last year, and she does extremely, extremely well in class as well. So all around student athlete, and good for her having a great senior year. And now the count even at 2-2 to her.
That was a great layoff by Lichner. That rise ball, again, like I said, started at her letters and ended above her mask almost, and she lays off of it.
Smart hitters in this Iona lineup. You've seen that first time through. Here's Blanchard's 2-2. Took something off that one and grounded it foul toward the Marist dugout. And Blanchard doesn't go with the change a ton, but when she sprinkles it in, can throw a hitter off balance for sure.
Yeah, Coach Asanio, he is the pitch caller of this group, and I think he sprinkles it in very well, like you said.
Trailing by 3, the Iona dugout not lacking for enthusiasm. It's been a great run for the Gales to get to this point. That's fisted, left side out of play, and, well, thankfully it looked like it hit the fence because that's right about where the families were sitting, and hopefully they were ready for that one. It will be Lichner, Sarah Pena, and Addie Smith. They keep it going. Bree Fisher and Guerrero. A mix of seniors and sophomores in this part of the lineup. 2-2. Took something off that one, grounded second. Wiltsey Fields throws across, 1 away. First time the Red Foxes have retired the leadoff hitter in 3 innings.
The third baseman, number 33, Sarah Pena.
So this is Pena. As we'll take a look at that play by Wiltsey. The freshman who moved around a little bit in the infield, played some third base early on, but the Red Foxes have settled in with this defensive alignment of Wiltsey at second, Sienna Kunze at third. Kunze played a lot of second in addition to catching last year. Haley R has played 3 infield positions throughout her career. It's shortstop predominantly this year, as the count 0-1 to Pena. Upstairs, Pena is the MAAC Defensive Player of the Year. She's been a stalwart at third base, among the nation's leaders in assists per game. She was recruited initially as a catcher. That arm will play anywhere. 1-1. Called strike on the outer half. Line drive, right center field. That gets down. It's off the wall. Pena's digging for two. Pusey hustles. Here's the throw. And Pena slides around it. Peyton Pusey with a strong, accurate throw. Pena realized that was coming. That was a great evasive slide to get in for two.
Yeah, that was a good slide. I mean, we'll see it again, but Pusey gets to that ball quickly. It stung to right center, so Pusey gets there. The throw's a little off. R had to go get it a little bit, but...
And Pena slid to the inside of the bag. If she went to the outside, she would have been out. But now a runner on second for Smith, and it's a comebacker to Blanchard. Bobbles, Fields fires, 2 away, as Pena will get to third. But the Red Foxes will trade a base for an out there.
Yeah, Blanchard does a good job of staying with that ball. I mean, we've talked about comebackers back to the mound. Sometimes pitchers have difficulty throwing it to first after it's hit back at them, and she does a great job of staying with that.
Bree Fisher, dangerous hitter in this Iona lineup, flew out to right her first time up. That was the bomb of the first, brought to you by Sam Rogers.
You know, after watching Bree Fisher for a few games, I think she's arguably one of the better hitters on this Iona team.
Fisher played her first 2 years at Adelphi before coming to Iona. Blanchard's 0-1. That's popped up. Does Mannery have a play or Kunze? No, it lands on the 10. It rolls toward us. And even two-time MAAC Defensive Player of the Year, Caroline Barada, might not have a play on that because you're not going to reach over the wall for it.
It's also raining, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to get wet.
Oh, you played in rain on this field before. Blanchard's ahead 0-2. That's a soft line drive into left field for a base hit. Pena comes in. It's a 2-out single for Bree Fisher, and Marist's lead is cut to 4-2.
You know, it looks like Fisher got fisted a little bit on that. She definitely didn't get all of it, but it's just enough to get over R's head and drop in front of Manley.
The rain has now picked up here at Gartland Field, but Fisher, the transfer from Adelphi, gets it through the raindrops, and the game is now 4-2. We've talked about things can change quickly. Well, not an ideal spot if you're the Red Foxes, and if you're the Gales, you think you have a chance here. Haley Guerrero now represents the tying run at the top of the third. And Guerrero has hit 5 home runs at this field between regular season games and MAAC championships. Guerrero started her career at Stony Brook, last 3 years at Iona. And she's ahead in the count 2-0. The senior pocket of the Iona lineup. Fisher a senior, Guerrero a senior. If she keeps the inning going, Brooke Acker, another senior, is on deck. 2-0. Ground ball in the hole. R dove, but it went off her glove. It's fielded by Manley, so Fisher will hold at second. But Guerrero with a single to keep this inning going. She's 2 for 2 in this game.
Yeah, that was a hard hit by Guerrero. I'm not sure. R looks like she's cheating up the middle just a little bit. I think if she was in her normal position, she might have had a play on that ball. But, you know, she gets it through.
The first step went left, too.
Yeah.
And at that point, she did a great job knocking it down. And at least with the play being in front for Marist, Fisher has to hold it second. Here's Acker. She sends that one up the middle for a base hit. Fielded by Pusey. They're going to send Fisher. Throw by Pusey. Play at the plate. Safe. Peyton Pusey came up firing. Bree Fisher got under the tag. And I think Joe Lasagna wants a look at this one.
Yeah, let's take a look, Mike. Pusey made a phenomenal throw home. She really did.
Wouldn't expect any less from Peyton Pusey. We will have an official review.
And again, Acker goes up there hacking. Hits it right back where it came from. Like we were saying, there's no rest in this Iona lineup.
As you see on the graphic, the call on the field was safe. Here we go. Uh-oh. Remember, the call on the field was safe. Caroline, that's as close as close
really
gets.
Close. We'll see if they have enough evidence to overturn it.
At that look, maybe by an inch or two, Mannery gets the tag down. But, again, it has to be indisputable, and Brian Sonak's call was safe. I mean, there's the shot right there, and what a great job by our crew. Instant replay, such a great thing to have at these championships. Pusey with such a great throw, though, too.
Great throwing, great tag by Mannery, too.
And if she ends up being safe on this play, a great job by Fisher with the slide. I love the reverse of Pusey on that throw. Let's see if we can get this one more time here with the base hit to center field. And just what a throw by Peyton Pusey. Andy Russo with the aggressive send. And this is taking a little while, Caroline. Here we go. It wasn't indisputable, which, Caroline, you wonder if the call was out, would it have been reversed on the field? So close.
That was very close. And I mean, honestly, with the time that they took to look at that, I'm a little surprised they didn't reverse it.
It was so close. And now, Iona is going to the bench for a pinch hitter here. So the Gales have split a couple of players in the designated player spot this year. It's been Donnarumma, and this is Candy Gonzalez, who has been a really nice story for this team. You see that she has the brace on her right knee. She's a graduate student who has been through some injuries in her career. First pitch swinging, though, is popped up. R backs up, and she makes the catch through the raindrops for the third out. But Iona crawls back in it. The Gales strike for two, and after 2.5, it is 4-3 Marist. Welcome back to Gartland Field. This is Game 7 of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship. And if you were looking for low-scoring games and pitchers' duels, we recommend another conference tournament to you. As we are 4-3 in the third, Sienna Kunze leading it off for Marist against Allison Hoppy is Andy Russo and Iona going to the bullpen to bring in Hoppy, who has split duties in the circle with Melissa Gordon. Check out how even this has been this year, Caroline. Coming into today, Gordon 128 and a third innings pitched. Hoppy 128 herself.
Yeah, you know, he has 2 horses on this team, and I think regardless who wins this game, the losing team's going to be a tough out of this tournament.
Kunze, high and deep, left field, foul. was tailing foul coming off the bat. Sienna Kunze generates a lot of loft with her swing. I told her after she homered at Quinnipiac that the reason I gave up playing golf is I could never hit a drive that looks like some of the home runs she hits. She's generated a lot of power. 12 homers this year, the 1-1. Skied right side out of play.
Yeah, Kunze has a bright future as a Red Fox, only being a sophomore this year. She's going to really she's going to be a great replacement for R and Pusey in that lineup.
Sienna Kunze, second-team All-MAAC selection last year, second team this year, and with those numbers, she could have made a strong case for first team as well. The question is always, who do you take off? And sometimes, early in your career, maybe you don't get quite the honor that you want, but maybe sometimes later in your career, maybe you'll get something that could very well be somebody else's. Or if you're Kunze, you could just keep accelerating throughout the course of your career.
Right, and like you said, Kunze's such a versatile player. You don't even know exactly where she's going to play next year. She's a great catcher behind Mannery as well.
There are some options there. And with Joe Asanio and who he has coming into his program, he'll always recruit versatile players, that you have some chess pieces that you can mix and match. But Kunze, through 2 years, has shown ability at second, catcher, and third.
And I know the athlete she is, she could also play shortstop if she had to.
And did at times this year. 3-2. That's in the air. Center field. Back is worth. Track. Wall. Gone! Sienna Kunze, 5-3 Marist.
And just like that, Mike, like we were saying, she provides that power for the Red Foxes there.
Take a look at that swing. Worth thought she had a play on it. Oh, she came pretty close, too. I would put Hannah Worth really high on my list of players in this championship most likely to rob a home run.
I agree with you.
But Kunze, her 13th of the year, and now another power presence in Olivia Wiltsey, who swings the first pitch. Left center field. Back to the wall. It's gone! The Red Foxes go back to back.
The freshman Wiltsey continues to impress. She really does.
She does not get cheated on her swings. And she goes up in attack mode. The Boston Spa product, just a couple hours north of here, 11th home run of her freshman season.
Yeah, Wiltsey's a great story, too. She was recruited out of high school. I believe she had a pretty significant injury to her knee, which deterred a lot of coaches away from her, and Coach Asanio stuck with her, grabbed a local kid, and she's shown as a Red Fox.
Joe Asanio, it's a great point, Caroline, made the mental note right away. Seeing her early in her high school career, hey, this is a player who can hit. This is a versatile athlete. She has that as a sophomore. She comes back. Joe Asanio never lost tabs, and Olivia Wiltsey never forgot that.
Right, and that's what makes Coach Asanio a great coach, and why he's won Coach of the Year multiple years, is because he sticks with those athletes and he knows how to recruit.
Olivia Wiltsey as well. She gets great family support. Again, being fairly close to home. Met her parents coming down. Her dad, Russ, and I have bonded over musical choices, perhaps at times as well. And Olivia Wiltsey, again, being from Boston Spa, she has a number of friends who went to Siena, are going to Siena. She wanted to get a little farther away from home. Her mom is actually a Siena graduate. But coming down here to Marist, there was the connection that Joe Asanio stuck with her. And it's worked out well both ways. Marist now in the lead 6-3. Here's Sam Rogers. And the count is 2-2 to her. Sam Rogers started the 3-run second with the double. She came around to score, and she's had a busy day in right field as well. 2-2. Called strike 3. So Hoppy bounces back, throwing the change on 2-2 for the strikeout.
It's a big out by Hoppy. Great changeup right there to get Rogers looking. Iona really needed that out, and they got it.
Here's Sidlowski. She grounded out to short her first time up. And that one misses in. Melissa Gordon went 1 2/3 innings. Hoppy came in the second, needed just one pitch to get out of the jam by retiring Haley R on a ground ball. But then, Kunze and Wiltsey go back-to-back with homers. Then the strikeout of Rogers. Now Sidlowski with a 2-0 advantage here. And the change misses up.
Yeah, the Red Foxes seem to have really figured out Iona's pitching this time around, they had 3 games against them, so they saw them a lot.
Ball 4. Sidlowski works a 4-pitch walk, and Gordon pitched a complete game in Game 1, Hoppy in Game 2. Andy Russo used his top 3 pitchers in Game 3 as Bella Dijon Domenico again took a no-hitter into the 6th against the Red Foxes. It was a 2-0 lead going into the 7th. Livia Wiltsey hit the first pitch of the 7th out of the ballpark. Bella Mannery followed with a triple. They went to the bullpen. Manley pops that up, and Acker makes the catch for the 2nd out. So McKenna Manley, who's been really hard for the Gales to retire, first pitch pop out. And now we go to Geiser, who doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. And Annabelle Geiser has looked great in her first MAAC championship. Annabelle Geiser is a tremendous, tremendous competitor. She looks at a strike. We talked about yesterday how much Peyton Pusey, who awaits on deck, and is pretty ferocious in how she plays this game herself, really thinks a lot of Annabelle Geiser. Just running into a couple of the Red Foxes before the game, and Geiser was as fired up as anyone, ready to play this one, and it comes as a very minimal surprise.
Yeah, she's a great spark plug for the Red Foxes to have, and she carries a ton of confidence with the way she plays.
Pop foul, Geiser stays alive. After the final out, William Rosen will talk to Marist head coach Joe Wasanio. 5-person infield in effect for Iona, 0-2. That's grounded. Pena gives way to Fisher. Quick throw to first. And it's not caught by Smith. And now going to third is Sidlowski, and Geiser is down. But now she's up, thankfully. Geiser holding her back. Let's take a look at what happened on that play. Fisher throwing on the run, and the throw was wild, and it looked like the throw was what hit Geiser.
Yeah, honestly, Iona's a little lucky that did hit Geiser, because without her getting hit, I think Sidlowski scores.
Joe Wasanio taking a look at Geiser.
Seems to be okay.
So Sidlowski gets to third, Geiser reaches, and now 6-3, runners at the corners with 2 outs for Peyton Pusey. Peyton Pusey scored 3 runs in yesterday's game. That misses off the corner, and Peyton Pusey has scored more runs than anybody who has ever played MAAC softball. She led the country in runs scored and runs per game last year, but here in an RBI spot. Off the corner now. Okay, Caroline. First and third. Speedy Geiser at first. Sidlowski at third. Does Joe Wasanio have anything in the bag of tricks, or do you let Pusey swing the bat?
I think you let Pusey swing the bat here with a 2-0 count.
She does just that. And it's a diving stop by Guerrero, but she's not able to get up in time to make the throw. Infield single for Peyton Pusey. Sidlowski scores. It's a 3-run inning for the Red Foxes, who lead 7-3.
And Pusey's just so hard to get out. I mean, that ball was hit, I would say, decently hard, but Guerrero had to go to her knees and get the ball, and Pusey just flies down the line.
We'll get another look. That is a great play by Guerrero just to get to it. And she smartly realized that at that point, nothing good is going to come of her trying to make a play. Mannery tries to bunt. The runners are in motion. Throw to third, and Geiser is out.
It's a great play
Fisher,
right there.
the shortstop, had to get over to cover. So the Gales get out of the inning, but not before Marist scores 3. After 3, the Red Foxes lead the Gales by a count of 7-3. As we take a look at the power surge for the Red Foxes, Sienna Kunze and Olivia Wiltsey go back-to-back. And now to talk about that third inning, William Rosen is with Joe Asanio. William, take it away.
Here with Coach Joe Asanio. Coach, you get back-to-back home runs there. What have you seen so far from your team?
No, again, just it's all about the approach. Making sure we have a good approach and going up there and trying to hit strikes.
How are you going to continue that heading into the later innings?
Well, listen, again, we just have to keep maintaining, our discipline at the plate, making sure we're swinging the good pitches to hit, and then going from there.
Thank you, Coach. We'll be right back.
Stealing. Well, Hannah Worth will lead off the top of the fourth for Iona, and there's not a lot of white spaces on this score sheet, Caroline, which means there's a lot of hitters coming up every inning. There has only been one half inning in this game in which a team has not scored, and that was Iona in the top of the second. Each team got 1 in the first. Then Iona 0 top of the second. Marist with 3 in the bottom of the second. Iona 2 in the top of the third. Marist 3 bottom of the third. Hannah Worth leads off by taking a strike, and Hannah Worth had one of the best at-bats we've seen all day in the second inning against Stella Blanchard. Ava Metzger, please report to the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean,
Strike.
the Gales are about to go through the lineup a third time against Blanchard, so they've seen her a few times, and with how good their hitters are, I think they're going to be able to adjust. So throwing Metzger into the bullpen's not a bad idea by Asanio.
And we may see Sidlowski at some point as well. Worth in the air, left center field. Pusey makes the call, 1 away. Anna Sidlowski had some success against Iona in the regular season as well. She came in the second inning in relief in game 1 and proceeded to shut Iona down the rest of the way, and then had a terrific start in that game 3, gave up 2 runs, but struck out a career-high 7, tied her career high with 7 in Marist's 3-2 win. The other part of that story for Iona is when that series ended, the Gales were 7-8 in conference play, and you're looking at this and saying, is this team going to make the championship? But the schedule tilted a little more favorably, and Andy Russo's bunch really turned up the heat, and from then to the rest of the season, 11-2 in MAAC play. That's ripped by Morales down the line for a base hit.
Yeah, Morales gets a really good piece of that down the first base line. Geiser can't really make a play there, just hit way too hard.
So that's her second hit. The first one left the park to lead off the game. And now it's Lichner. She walked her first time up. She grounded out to second to lead off the third. Now the sun might be making an appearance. Cool. Ball strike in her half. The weather yesterday was perfect. Today is imperfect. And we're not going to talk about tomorrow right now. That pitch is upstairs. So the winner of this one is on to the winner's bracket final. Just one more win for a MAAC championship. But whoever loses this game will have a second chance in the last game of the day. Sacred Heart and Quinnipiac is next. The winner of that game will face the loser of this one.
Yeah, Mike.
I'm sorry, Caroline.
And like I said before, both these teams, they have a deep lineup and a deep pitching staff. So whoever ends up on the losing end of this game can still make a run at this tournament.
Absolutely. These two teams are the ones most likely to be able to have 3 good options in the circle. Litcher gives that one a ride, but pulls it way foul. So the interesting part of this is, with Sacred Heart and Quinnipiac, is if Quinnipiac wins, the Bobcats will then play their 3rd game of the day in an attempt to get to the championship round. Here comes the 2-2. Cut on and missed, strike 3, and Blanchard took a little off that one for the first out.
That's a great pitch call by Asania right there, mixing in that changeup like we said before.
Number 33, Sarah Pena.
Now here's Pena. She got it going in that 2-run third for Iona. She doubled and then scored. Hitting .333 in conference play this season. And as the Gales got it going, Andy Russo taking a couple of sophomores, Pena and Smith, and moving them up to this part of the lineup. Pena gives that one a ride into left center field. Pusey's over, it's off the wall. Here comes Morales. She makes the turn. Here's the throw to the plate, and Mattery can't hold on. Morales is safe, and Pena is up to 3rd. There was a question, I think, of whether Morales touched the plate, actually. There was a lot going on here.
Yeah, that took a crazy hop off the wall. It almost hit the bottom of the wall and went through Pusey's legs, and she had to corral it after that. She makes a great throw home. Bella just couldn't handle it there.
I think that Mattery was trying to make the catch and the tag all in one motion there. Pusey, my gosh, she has come so close on 3 occasions in this game to making the absolute perfect throw from center field. The hitter is Addie Smith.
And just like that, Mike, Iona is still not going away. There's still a ton of game left here.
Oh, absolutely. Count now 1-1 to Smith. That's grounded off Blanchard, and it rolls away. That hit Blanchard. Couldn't tell if it was glove hand. Joe Asanio is going to come out to take a look at her. The score is now 7-5.
She's shaking her hand a little bit. Not sure if it got her in the hand. Let's see one more time. I think she tried to catch it with her glove and had her other hand up there. I mean, it's just self-defense at that point. That ball was stung pretty well.
Well, either way, that is going to be it for Blanchard, who goes 3 2/3. And the first call to the bullpen goes to Anna Sidlowski.
Now pitching for Marist, number 2, Anna Sidlowski. Number 2.
The DP is going into pitch. DP on DP on.
Anna Sidlowski started yesterday's game against Sacred Heart and was taken out in the 2nd inning of that one. So now pitching on consecutive days. But Sidlowski, as we mentioned, it was a tough start to her season. Again, she'll generate a lot of ground balls. Marist had used different combinations in the infield early in the season. But Sidlowski really, things started working more in her fortune in that series at Iona. A great job in relief in game 1 of the series, going 4+ scoreless in that one, and then a magnificent start going the distance in the series finale. That was her first win of the season, and as it turned out, she ended up being the winning pitcher in 4 consecutive games for the Red Foxes, starting with that one. The start against Iona, and then both ends of the doubleheader in relief against Sacred Heart, and then another relief performance in Game 1 of the Ryder Series. So Sidlowski has excelled in this role this year. First pitch to Fisher is popped up. Geisler makes the play. In one pitch, he's out of the inning. After 3.5, Marist 7, Iona 5. The runs keep coming. And William Rosen will talk about the latest developments with gang ready to join him.
Yes.
William Rosen.
Here with Coach Russo of Iona. Coach, you let up 2 solo shots. You head into the later stages. What's the goal for Iona?
I think we just got to keep swinging the bat, hitting the ball hard, and chip away little by little. We got to stop them from scoring. I mean, they're doing a great job of barreling the ball up today.
Well, good luck in the later innings.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Gartland Field. It may be serene on the river. It's been chaotic at Gartland Field, though. Game 7 of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship. We said it feels like a Game 7. I feel more like a heavyweight fight. I'm Mike Ferraro, along with Caroline Barada, joined by William Rosen. Yep, you see that score right. It is 7-5 Marist in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bella Mannery, deep to left, foul. Mannery's been on it today, 2 for 2. You may remember she was at the plate when the bottom of the 3rd ended as the Red Foxes tried the double steal with Annabelle Geisler thrown out. But this inning, it's Mannery, R, and Kunze. And Kunze was the one who started the 3-run 3rd. 1-1 pitch to Mannery. That's up.
It's a good hold by Bella in that count. Hoppy goes to what looks like a rise ball to me, and it just misses high.
Saw Bella's mom, Jody, before the game again. Split Mannery family. Her sister, Adriana, her twin sister, who we've seen so often at Marist, well, she's playing in her own conference championship this weekend for Central Connecticut State. They're playing down at LIU. So the Mannery family, throughout the course of the last 4 years, a lot of coordination coming from Simi Valley, California, out east. And Mannery draws a leadoff walk and then does her best Peyton Pusey impersonation, firing her teammates up.
Yeah, the Mannery is such a great family. One of the coolest games I've been a part of. I believe I was a coach at that time. The twins got to play against each other.
That's such a great call, and thank you for bringing that up. That it was in their sophomore years in the 2024 season. They played in a tournament. Had some fun with the call at the Mannery Bowl 1, and Bella's team came out on top against Central Connecticut State. But one of the coolest parts of that game was the twins got to exchange the lineup cards at home plate. Haley R gets it through for a base hit. Mannery stops at second. That's the first hit of the game for Haley R. And the 292nd of her career.
Yeah, R stings that one and finally gets it through the 5-6 hole there. And that brings up the dangerous Kunze right now.
Actually, Caroline, you know what? I might have messed up my math there. Kunze the hitter. That one smoked and caught by Pena. And R had to get back to first. What great reflexes by the MAAC Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, and that's why she's the Defensive Player of the Year. That hot corner is a very hard position to play, and Kunze stung that ball.
Well, speaking of hard contact, here's Livia Wiltsey. Kunze and Wiltsey went back-to-back in the 3rd, and Wiltsey takes the ball. Indeed, that was Haley R's 294th career hit. Mannery at second, R at first. A walk by Mannery, a single by R. Wiltsey 1 for 2 with the homer. And that's tapped by Hoppy. Throw to first, not in time. Wiltsey beats it. And the bases are loaded with 1 out in the 4th.
Not very hard contact there by Wiltsey, but, you know, that's a hit in the book.
That might have been the softest exit velocity by Livia Wiltsey this year. And guess what? You mark it down as a single. She's 2 for 3 today. Here's Rogers, who's been great at bringing runs home all year. And she skies that one deep to left, but foul.
You know, with 1 out here and bases loaded for Rogers, her mindset needs to be get it in the air and just get it deep enough to score Mannery from third.
Sam Rogers, 40 RBIs this season. She has 3 sacrifice flies as well. And you have to think this is an opportunity the Red Foxes can't let pass by, so that's another foul ball. The way this game is going, bases loaded, 1 out, you have to be thinking add more runs here. Because this Iona lineup, this Iona team is relentless.
Yeah, right here, this is a critical situation for the Foxes and the Gales. Honestly, like, this is a great opportunity for Marist to get some insurance runs, but if Iona is able to get out of this, it's huge for them.
0-2 from Hoppy. Upstairs. Sam Rogers really has done a nice job this season of working counts, too, and she's walked 26 times this year. 1-2, and she stays alive.
Yeah, just looking at the defensive positioning of the fielders of the Gales, it looks like the middle infielders, they look like they're almost even with the bag. Corners are up a little bit. They might be going for the throw home. I would if I were them.
Huge spot in this game, as you mentioned, Caroline, both ways. With the sun now shining, the 1-2 to Rogers. And Joe Assanio has had to do some calisthenics during this at-bat. The runner at third is Mannery. The runner at second is R. Wiltsey is at first. And the 1 out was a screamer off the bat at Kunze. The Pena just stuck out the glove and said, thank you very much. 1-2. Hoppy went with the change, and Rogers got a piece of it.
Yeah, Rogers did a great job of spoiling that pitch, giving her another chance.
And remember last year, too, the Red Foxes talking about this. Allison Hoppy, another pitcher who will throw the change at any point in the count. The 1-2, another foul ball. Rogers is just a little bit early right now. But a great count and a great at-bat by Rogers. Anna Sidlowski is on deck. Rogers started the 3-run second with a double. That one misses away, 2-2.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for the Gales. Just watching Rogers over the past few years, she doesn't hit into many double plays or hit many ground balls in that matter.
Which is the right person you'd want up in this situation.
Right.
2-2. That one skied. Acker took a look, but it's well behind.
Just the way Rogers swings the bat, she gets that ball up in the air almost like Kunze does, and this is a great spot for her.
Hit it high, let it fly. 2-2. That's in the air, center field, Worth under, and she makes the catch. Mannery tags, the throw goes into second, and Maris's lead is 8-5. 4th sacrifice fly of the year for Sam Rogers, RBI number 41.
Yeah, Rogers does the job there. That's all she needed to do in that spot to get that other insurance run.
So now here comes Sidlowski, who, as we mentioned, she's swinging a hot bat. Grounded out to short her first time up, but a 4-pitch walk her last time up. She came around to score. Ball 1.
Yeah, if I was Hoppy in that spot with Rogers up, sac fly, 1 run only, that's a gift. It really is.
Iona would sign up for get out of this inning at 8-5 for sure. Sidlowski trying to add to the lead, 2-0. Sidlowski now in the game in the circle as well. 2-0. Line drive, and it's snagged by Fisher for out number 3. But the Red Foxes get one back, and after 4, Marist 8, Iona 5. This is Game 7 of the 2020 MAAC Softball Championship at Gartland Field. To the top of the 5th we go. Marist 8, Iona 5. Game 7 of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship. It's the winner's bracket final. Winner to the MAAC Championship round and just one win away from a title. Whoever loses can still win the championship, but would need 3 more wins. 1 today and 2 in the championship round. Guerrero the hitter, ball 1. Haley Guerrero, then Brooke Acker. Kennedy Gonzalez had pinch hit for Donna Ruma her last time up, so we'll see which way that one goes with the 3rd hitter of the inning. 1-0. Guerrero pops it up in the infield. Guys are calling. 1 away.
The catcher, number 13,
Acker, she's seen last time up, also flew out to center. And we talked about Olivia Litcher, the contribution she's made to this Iona community. Well, Brooke Acker, who takes a strike, she's also in SAC community service chair for the last couple of years. Also has an outstanding grade point average as well as a double major, English and sociology. And has held it down behind the plate for the Gales for the last 4 years as well. More walks than strikeouts in her career. And that one deflected off Mannery. Or no, did that get the home plate umpire?
I think
Brian
it got
Solnak?
the home plate umpire.
So now Joe Lassanio out to say something, and that might have just broken the mood a little bit. I saw Brooke Acker with a smile on her face as well. So thankfully, all looks well, and we get back to action with a 1-1 count. Called strike.
It's a good pitch by Sidlowski. She wasn't really getting that call yesterday. She tries to paint the corners a little bit with that curve, drop curve, but today she's getting it.
One, 2. Just missed.
We have
Went right to the same spot.
Very similar spot there.
Two. Fouled away. Giovanna Donnarumma is in the on-deck circle. As we work toward the Gales part of the lineup that is very patient and discerning with the strike zone. 2-2. Called strike 3. Sidlowski was working that outside corner of the hole at bat, and she gets the call for the second out.
That's a great spot by Sidlowski, and a little help from her catcher Mannery, too, behind the plate.
So now Andy Russo out there with the lineup card to officially re-enter Donnarumma.
Designated player number 2.
Stella Blanchard went the first 3 2/3, so at this point, Sedlowski is the pitcher of record. Ground ball to third, fielded by Kunze, bobbles, recovers, and throw across for the third out. So a 1-2-3, top of the fifth for Anna Sedlowski. What's that? Haven't seen one of those today. And after 4.5, it is Marist 8, Iona 5. We go to the bottom of the fifth, and McKenna Manley will start it off for the Red Foxes against Allison Hoppy. 8-9-1 in the Marist order due up, and McKenna Manley takes one inside. Manley 1 for 2. She had a single and scored in the 3-run second. Marist has scored in every inning to this point, 1-3, 3-1. Manley grounds that one foul. Annabelle Geiser is on deck, then you go back to the top of the lineup in Pusey.
Yeah, Manley's another one of those versatile players that I've seen her take some ground balls in the infield as well at second and third, and she can also play the outfield very well.
She's been used as a defensive replacement in some of those positions as that one misses upstairs. She's come in late in games at second, late in games in left, now getting the start in left. And she's gotten some big hits for the Red Foxes, especially in conference play. She takes a strike that evens the count at 2-2. We mentioned the game. She came off the bench at Iona when the Red Foxes were being no-hit and got 2 hits in the final 2 innings in Game 3 of that series. That's poked into left, and it's Lichner. She lays out and makes the catch. Olivia Lichner, out number 1.
It's a great catch by Lichner. She sees that ball all the way into her glove and makes the catch for the first out.
And now, the reward is hustle into the infield because Annabelle Geiser's up. There you see Lichner playing up the middle. That has been the defense against Annabelle Geiser. So if Geiser hits one to Lichner, you have to score 7-3. That's how Marist actually scored the run that turned out to be the winning run against Iona in Game 2 of the series. It was the second run Marist scored in the 2-1 win, and it was a ground ball that Geisner hit to Lichner. That's Lichner right by the second base bag. Fisher plays over near the hole. Pena on the line. 2-1. Geiser doubled in the second, reached on an error in the third. Called strike. Annabelle Geiser is a patient hitter. It's just, if you're a pitcher, it's a tough at bat. It's an uncomfortable at bat because of how discerning she is. And then if she puts the ball into play, the whole infield has to hustle with her speed. 2-2. Poked, and that's caught by Lichner. L7 on the line drive up the middle. Let's get another look. And Andy Russo had the right person in the right spot. So Peyton Pusey now the hitter. She has 2 hits in this one. She lays down a bunt and it goes foul. If she extends the inning, Bella Mannery awaits on deck. Red Foxes have 12 hits in this game. Pusey 2 for 3 with a couple driven in. Ground ball right side. Guerrero the diving stop and the flip. She couldn't get it there. She tried to make a spectacular play. She had time to do it, but she was in no way going to be able to do that if she got to her feet.
Yeah, Pusey is making Guerrero work today with all those dives up the middle.
Yeah, you're right. That's not the first time. Let's get another look.
Yeah, she makes a great play, just can't finish the play.
And when we say she had time, she had time in the sense of Pusey wasn't standing on the bag at that point. Really not any chance. And Bella Mannery is hit with a pitch, as has happened quite often in her career. Bella Mannery has found some creative and painful ways to get on base during the course of her Marist career. We'll get another look. She wears the elbow guard, and it looks like it clipped the guard right there. My favorite Bella Mannery getting hit by a pitch story, her freshman year, Caroline, you were coaching 2023. Great pitchers duel with St. Peter's, 1-0 game. How's the 1-run score? She gets hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. The first time Marist won a 1-0 game since game against Iona at one point where my broadcast partner stole home. Haley R the hitter. Sorry.
It's okay.
Cats 2-0 to
I
R.
remember that game.
There have been a lot of classic Marist Iona games over the years that have been pitchers duel. You may remember them in your career too. Kara Zazzaro, Callista Phippen, when they dueled, it was truly a duel. Also, Marist's run to the 2023 MAAC championship was against Iona. The Red Foxes had just a couple hits in that one. Callista Phippen and Kylie Myers combined in a 2-1 victory. 3-0 count to R. Called strike. Good pitcher's pitch on 3-0 from Hoppy.
I don't think Gar was too happy with that pitch, but...
Well, let's see what 3-1 looks like. Ball 4. So after Hoppy retired the first 2 hitters of the inning, the infield single by Pusey, Mannery hit with a pitch, R draws the walk, and here's Sienna Kunze, who homered in the 3rd inning, now up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And again, another big spot in this game. No lead has been saved throughout this championship. The Red Foxes with a big chance to extend. Kunze pops it in the air. Smith is giving chase, but hits the top of the Iona dugout.
Kunze might be the only Red Fox I would not want to face in this position right here.
She's 2 for 3 in this one. Pusey has 3 hits, Mannery 2, Kunze 2, Wiltsey 2. That's in the air, right field, but Morales is under, and she puts it away for the 3rd out. So it's the first time today the Red Foxes don't score in a half inning. They leave the bases loaded as Hoppy gets out of the jam with the fly ball. After 5, 8-5 Marist. To the top of the 6th we go. Marist leading Iona 8-5. From the Marist perspective, in one way, it's 6 outs to get back to the MAAC championship round. In another way, seeing how this game, how this championship have developed, Why does the road to get there look like a mountain?
Probably because we're leading off with Hannah Worth at the bottom of the lineup, and then we have the top of the Iona lineup after that.
So it's Hannah Worth who walked in the second inning. She flew out to center in the fourth, and Hannah Worth, she does not chase bad pitches. She works counts. Sidlowski has to be around the plate here to retire the leadoff hitter in the top of the sixth. And that's a ball in as Worth shortened the bat up. There are 5 seniors in this Iona lineup. And 5 seniors who, it's been a bit of a mix. 1-0 to Worth, and that's grounded up the middle, and it gets through into center field. Wiltsey tried to make the play with the backhand. If she did, she would have had to spin and fire. So Hannah Worth leads off the sixth with a base hit, and now it's back to the top of the Iona order in Morales.
Yeah, that's a true base hit right there from Worth. Wiltsey can't really do much, just where she's playing a little more in.
That too.
And Worth takes a full swing and just gets it through.
If she's playing back, maybe she has a chance, but that's not where you want to position somebody against Hannah Worth. That one's into Morales, who homered to lead off this game. If that wasn't a harbinger of things to come, I don't know what was.
Right, she also had a really strong base hit down the right field line, too.
That was her last time up. 2 for 3, couple of runs scored. The 1-0. That's in the air. Deep left center field. Pusey's back at the wall. Goodbye. A 2-run homer for Rachel Morales. Her second homer of the game, and Iona cuts its deficit to 8-7.
Let's see where
Just
this
got a
one
little
is
steeper,
again.
Caroline.
Yeah, you see Sidlowski left that pitch a little too far up for Morales, and a hitter like Morales, she's going to take advantage of a ball in the zone like that.
Now here's Lichner. She was hit by a pitch her first time up, grounded out to second, and struck out her last time. Her first time facing Sidlowski. Ground ball to second. Wiltsey fields. 4-3 put out for the first out.
That gives a little more life to the Iona dugout, though. Now with an 8-7 game.
Iona struck first with the Morales leadoff homer. Marist tied it 2 hitters later in the bottom of the first and has led since a 3-run bottom of the second. But then Iona 2 in the third, 3 in the bottom of the third for Marist, 2 in the top of the fourth for Iona, 1 in the bottom of the fourth. Neither team scored in the fifth, anomaly. And then Iona scored 2 in the top of the sixth. So here's Pena. She's done some damage. She has a couple of doubles and a couple of runs in this one. The 0-1 from Sidlowski. That's low. You just look at the score sheet right now, and again, not many holes, but if you're Marist, you really don't want Fisher or Guerrero hitting in this inning with traffic. Called strike. 1-2. Pena having a terrific sophomore year. The 1-2. Ground ball back to Sidlowski. 1-3 for the second out.
Yeah, Mike, that's a big out right there, getting Pena to ground out. Weakly to Anna Sidlowski, having no one on base for Smith here.
You talk about infield defense, and sometimes that has to start with the pitcher herself, and Sidlowski was ready for that one. Here's Addie Smith. She takes low. Addie Smith was hitting 8th in the lineup when Marist faced Iona in early April. But again, Andy Russo, Gale's getting hot down the stretch. Pena and Smith have moved up in this lineup, and it's been working for the Gales. Here comes the 1-0. Ground ball. Kunze. 5-3 put out, ends the sixth. We go to the bottom half of the sixth with Marist leading 8-7 as the Gales climb back on the 2-run homer by Morales. Up on the hill. Marist with the 8-7 lead against Iona. The Red Foxes have led for most of this one, but Marist has to think. Insurance runs here. 5, 6, and 7 2 up. It starts with Livia Wiltsey. And that's a called strike. Count even at 1-1.
It's a tough call right there. I don't think Coach Asanio is too happy with that one, but
Wiltsey is homered in this contest. Line drive, center field, and that drops in front of Worth for a base hit. Livia Wiltsey has hits in her last 3 at-bats. And the Red Foxes with 14 in the game.
yeah, you know, Mike, I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but the protection behind Haley R this year has been great. Between Kunze and Wiltsey, it's been awesome.
And they've had to cycle through some different areas. Rogers has been hot. She hit up there most of the year. Now Rogers shows punch. She gets it down. Hoppy Fields fires to first, and Guerrero makes the catch for the first out. So score that a 1-4 sacrifice as Rogers does her job and gets Wiltsey into scoring position with 2 outs. Interesting that you see small ball in an 8-7 game, but when you think insurance runs.
Yeah, you know, Coach Russo and Coach Asanio, they're both very tactical coaches. It's almost like a chess match between both of them.
It really is, and we see a lot of similar things right down to the playing the 5-player infield against the slap hitter. They do it in different ways, but it's similar thought processes. They've had to juggle their pitching staffs this year, move around the lineups as they've tried to mix and match their more veteran players with their younger ones. What a fantastic game today. Sidlowski, line drive, base hit into left field. Wiltsey got a little bit of a late jump just to make sure it got through, so she'll stop at third. Anna Sidlowski has a hit, which means every Red Fox in the starting lineup has at least one, as Marist has 15 in the game.
Yeah, that's not surprising with this game having, what do we have now, 26 hits in this game we've seen?
15 runs, 26 hits, and a lot of honey consumed between games. I hope there's some food left for me after this one. As now it's Manley with 1 out and runners at the corners. So now this is interesting. Sidlowski's at first, Wiltsey's at third. The Joe Asanio wheelhouse sometimes has been get the runners in motion with runners at the corners. A bunt play could be in play as well. Manley swinging, and she grounds it foul, making the count 1-1.
Yeah, you know, we have 1 out here. It looks like Iona's defense. Corners seem to be even. The middle seem to be back. Probably double play depth if I had to guess.
That is true as well.
Let's see
Speed is decent at all bases. After Manley, though, then you get into the roadrunner part with Geyser and Pusey. Line drive, that's off Pina's glove. Now Wiltsey's going to make a break to the plate. The throw! She's safe! And the Red Foxes lead 9-7. Livia Wiltsey makes the mad dash, and Marist has a 2-run lead. And she got a little bit of a late jump.
She did. The throw wasn't very on target there. If it might have been, she might have been out, but Wiltsey gets in there safely.
If that throw is more toward the line, Wiltsey is probably out at the plate. But it worked, and it's 9-7. That will go down as a fielder's choice and an RBI for Manley. Count now 1-1 to Annabelle Geyser. Runners on first and second. Sidlowski at second, Manley at first. Chopped, foul.
1 out here with Geyser up. You don't think she's a double play candidate on the ground unless it's struck very, very hard.
With the 5-player infield, especially if you're the Marist base runners, though, you have to watch on the line drive. It's more likely, I would even think at this point, that a freak line drive double somebody off is more likely. 1-2. Ground ball hits softly. Pina has to be quick with it, and she is for the second out.
Yeah, Geyser's a tough out. That's a great play by Pina there.
Well, if there's anybody who's going to make that play and that accurate of a throw with those reflexes, that is what Pina gives you at third base. There was literally no margin for error right there. You see the look there. Julianne Bolton, coaching first base, thought that Geyser was safe. Here's Pusey, runners on second and third with 2 outs. Can the Red Foxes get more insurance here? Pusey scored 3 runs yesterday against Sacred Heart. She's 3 for 4 with a double, 2 RBIs, and a run scored in this one. And Iona has a dangerous part of the lineup, 2 up in the 7th. Pusey skies that one left side. Couple of Gales give chase, but it's out of play. So for Iona in the top of the 7th, if you're wondering, Fisher, Guerrero, Acker, the Iona seniors. And now Joe Asanio is going to have a conference with Peyton Pusey.
We're looking at our grounds crew over in left field with Baxter leading it.
As always. And let's hope for a relatively dull day for them, right? We had some showers early in this one. The sun is now out. Let's hope it stays out for the rest of the day. And again, we're not going to talk about tomorrow right now. Let's enjoy what we have in front of us. All we have is right now. 1-1. That's low. Sometimes a 9-7 game can get you deeply philosophical, right? 2-1. Check swing, and it goes foul. Pena had an interesting decision there, and she made the right one.
Yeah, she sure did. There's no way she gets Pusey if she touches that ball fair.
There have been exactly 3 half innings in this game in which neither team has scored. The top of the 2nd, the top of the 5th, and the bottom of the 5th. 9-7 Marist lead, 2-2 to Pusey. Upstairs. If Pusey keeps it going, Bella Mannery, who has been swinging a hot bat, is on deck. Payoff pitch to Pusey. Line drive foul. Next stop, Tarp. And that's how tonight will conclude with that being put on the field. Not for a little while, though. We're good. Payoff pitch. Pusey keeps the at-bat going. Peyton Pusey can attack early in counts, but she can work some very long ones as well. She's selective. She can waste pitches. The MAAC Player of the Year, and so well deserved. 3-2. Change up, and it's high and deep to right center field. Goodbye, home run. She knew it off the bat. I don't know if I've ever seen her hit a ball that far, Caroline.
She sat on that changeup. I heard from the dugout before that ball even left Hoppy's hand to sit on that pitch. They must know the changeup's coming. And Pusey sat on that pitch and hit that ball a ton.
That has been the talk with these Iona pitchers. Again, they'll throw the change-ups in any count. That Marist was well aware of that with Hoppy last year. Hoppy came into the Iona program last year. She transferred in from Drexel, and she was excellent at the top of the Iona rotation last year. And then a very good 1-2 punch with her and Hoppy this year. And Dijon Domenico, who we haven't seen pitch in this championship, a very good number 3 as well. But Pusey was ready for that one. And the Red Foxes have their insurance.
Yeah, but that's why Pusey's the player of the year this year.
Because she can do it all.
Even if you know it's coming, a changeup is still very hard to hit.
And she got all of that one. Mannery right side. And that'll even the count at 2-2. Bella Mannery has not been retired in this game. Double tied this game back in the first. That seemed like that was about a week and a half ago. Then she singled, then she walked, and then she was hit by a pitch. You can call that the Bella Mannery cycle if you want, as long as it includes the hit by pitch. Count is worked full. Haley Aura waits on deck. And that's fouled at the plate. Coming up next, Sacred Heart and Quinnipiac. Caroline had the call, and I had the call of that one yesterday. That was a terrific, terrific game.
Yeah, it was. Those teams are so evenly matched as well that game is also an elimination game, mind you. It's going to be a great one.
Mannery fouls that one off. Peyton Pusey now has 5 RBIs in this game. Single, 2 singles, a double, and a homer. What a phenomenal game, what a phenomenal career. And that's ball 4 to Mannery, who in 5 plate appearances has not been retired in this game.
The shortstop, number 10. Haley R.
Haley R is 1 for 3. Haley R deep to left field. Foul. 2 groundouts in her first 2 at bats. She singled in the 4th. She walked in the 5th. Marist leading this one 12-7. They needed an answer in this inning to feel safer. They got one, but we're not counting out Iona. We know better. And R takes a strike and the count's 0-2. Haley R in MAAC play this year struck out once. One time. She has a great 2-strike approach, and sometimes the 2-strike approaches don't get to 2 strikes. 0-2. That misses away. She eyeballed that one the whole time.
R just makes so much contact that it is very hard to strike her out. Even if the ball hits the ground, I'm sure she could still hit it.
Her bat-to-ball skills are phenomenal. That's popped up into short left center field. Worth over, and she makes the catch for the 3rd out. Hannah Worth covered a lot of ground to put the Red Foxes away in the 6th. However, Marist, thanks to Peyton Pusey's homer, 4 in the bottom of the 6th. It is 12-7 Marist as we go to the top of the 7th. To the top of the 7th we go. What a game here from Gartland Field as Marist leads Iona by a count of 12-7. But, again, has any lead been safe? This Iona lineup is relentless. We'll see what they have left with 3 outs to go. Great spot to start it. Yeah, Bree Fisher, Haley Guerrero, Brooke Acker. 5, 6, 7, 3 seniors. Fisher singled and scored in the 3rd. That one misses away. Anna Sidlowski came into this game in the top of the 4th, so she stands to be the pitcher of record in this one.
Yeah, she's done a great job coming into relief. She's really stepped into that role, starting even last year too, Mike.
As that one is fouled off. And last year, you had Kylie Myers and Maddie Pleasance at the top of the rotation, but there was a stretch that Marist got in late April where Sidlowski came into a number of games in similar situations and was really successful. The 1-1 to Fisher, that's grounded back to Sidlowski. She makes the play for the 1st out.
Yeah, Sidlowski's done a great job. Starting her freshman year, she was a starter. She was a starting pitcher. And then come her sophomore year, that's a big adjustment, being asked to be a
Rookie
relief
of the Year in 2024.
pitcher.
And, of course, you have a vested interest in that one, Caroline. After all, she took your uniform number. The number 2 has treated this program well over the years. As now it's Guerrero that misses up and away. Anna Sidlowski has a career record of 33 wins and 12 losses. And last year we mentioned the relief outings late in the year that you may remember, as phenomenal as Marist was going last year, Iona was playing so well through most of the season, and it was neck and neck for those two coming into the final week of the season as to who was going to get the 1 seed. And Sidlowski's efforts in a stretch of about a week really helped the Red Foxes stay on par with the Gales. Sidlowski ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes here. Guerrero has a hit in this one. Actually has a couple of hits in this one. This is too much on this score sheet at this point. Might have to save that one. Ground ball. Haley R, little bit of a juggle, but she recovers in time to get Guerrero for the second out.
It looks like they might challenge this play here.
And if you're Andy Russo, why not?
Yeah, you have nothing to lose here. Looked like R had a little bit of difficulty getting out of her glove, maybe. She bobbled it just a tad.
Let's get another look. Well, Guerrero thought she was safe.
I think she might be safe.
And she might be. She might be. She could be. Remember, the call on the field was out.
I don't know. It might be too close to overturn it. You think she's safe?
I do. Now, again, the ball disappears into the glove. This might be like the last one where it's too close, but either way, you like the challenge from Andy Russo. In this spot, you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Call on the field is the runner was out. That's first. After review, the call stands. The runner
And again, if Guerrero was called safe on the field, maybe it stands there, but way, way too close. Michael Binder makes the out call at first, and they get the look at it. That's what the technology is there for. Bang, bang, but R recovered in time. Now it's Brooke Acker. She has an RBI single in this one. Line drive, foul, wide at first. Donna Ruma is the hitter if the Gales can keep this going, but big for the Red Foxes to retire Fisher and Guerrero to start it, but the work's never done until you get out number 21. The 0-1 away. Pop foul when the Red Foxes are 1 strike away. "12 runs, 16 hits for the Red Foxes. 7 runs, 11 hits for Iona. One, two. Upstairs. Full count.
Yeah, Mike, I'm not sure if we've seen a true pitcher's duel yet this tournament, have we?
The first game was 3-1. The Quinnipiac-Fairfield game was 5-2, and that's the closest we've seen. Payoff pitch. We'll do that again. As this championship has already exceeded the last one in number of runs scored. Last year set the record for shutouts in a MAAC championship. That will not happen this year. And as the train goes by, the payoff pitch. Popped up in the infield. R is there. The Red Foxes are one win away from a MAAC championship as they take this one 12-7. That is one of the craziest games you will ever see. The top seed, the Red Foxes, have now won 16 in a row. Marist is on to the championship round, and now we see who they will face. Couple of steps on the ladder to get there. First, Quinnipiac and Sacred Heart coming up next. The winner of that one will then get Iona, and the winner of that game will face Marist in the championship. That team will have to defeat Marist twice. The Red Foxes need just one more win. As the handshake line taking place, Peyton Pusey, who's better than her? The MAAC Player of the Year. That majestic home run was caught by Quinnipiac, warming up, getting ready for the next one. As now the Red Fox is heading over, William Rosen will talk to Joe Asanio and Peyton Pusey. William, take it away with Joe Asanio. All you whenever you're ready.
Here with the winning coach, Coach Joe Asanio. Coach, the Bats were on fire today. 12 runs in this affair. What was working on the offensive side for you guys?
You know what? I told them in the huddle, you know, the one thing I loved about today is, you know, they scored and then we came right back, and then they scored and then we came right back. And just couldn't be more proud of that whole effort right there. That was just an incredible job from 1 to 9. The bench did a great job staying in the game, and Stella and Anna really did a good job of keeping us in that game.
This senior class led by Peyton Pusey, Haley R., a bunch of these seniors and grad students, what have they meant to your program as you head into that championship game?
I mean, you know, there was a stat that, you know, these three have been responsible for the most wins in a 4-year stretch in the history of this school. And, you know, I wouldn't want anybody else to be part of this. And I'm just really excited for what they've accomplished so far. But, you know, there's still a lot of work to do.
As you said, a lot of work to do. You have one more MAAC game, which is the championship game. What's your message to those seniors, grad students, and classmen as you head into that matchup?
It's the same as it was from the start. One game at a time, one pitch at a time, and, you know, good things happen to good teams.
Well, good luck as you go to the championship. What a ride.
Thank you.
Joe Asanio, winning head coach. Bring in Peyton Pusey. What a day Peyton had. Pep here. Peyton.
Hey, friends.
4 hits, 5 ribbies, and a home run. What was working for you today in the box?
My team, their encouragement, I think for sure. I've been kind of starting to guess a little bit, and then I told myself today that I wasn't going to do that. I was just going to do what I do, which is get on base and let my teammates hit me in. So they were really encouraging for me today, and it was a full team win.
You had quite the day in the box, but in the outfield, those outfield assists, and even when they weren't assists, those rockets from center field, how were you able to complete with such accuracy those assists?
I don't know. That's automatic. I don't really think about that, and I think if I were to think about it, I wouldn't make the throws. But, yeah, again, I just trust my teammates. They're going to be there, especially when I try to throw behind runners. I know they're going to be ready for it.
Coach Joe was saying one game at a time, but you head to that final game of the MAAC season, the championship game. What's going through your head as you begin the end in that next game?
Just another game. Been there before, won before, going to win again. So it's just another day here. I just want to play one more amazing game at Gartland.
Confidence is high. Your team is waiting for you to slap. Come on, go do it.
Okay.
Peyton Pusey, what a day. As she's going to go ahead and slap Marist to the next round.
And if the Red Foxes have the opportunity to do that one more time, they'll get to keep that. They are 1 win away from a MAAC championship, which would be their second straight in 3rd in 4 years. For Caroline Barada, I'm Mike Ferraro. Marist 12, Iona 7. All games airing on the ESPN family and networks are archived on ESPN. This has been a production of ESPN. We'll be back shortly with Game 8 of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship, Quinnipiac and Sacred Heart. Thank you, everyone.